I have an important message that I'm supposed to share with you. It's a very simple one. It's a question for you. It can help you to determine where you are on this planet, where your frequency is, what's going to happen in your future, and maybe it'll get you to think very seriously about what happens after this day. Are you ready? I'm going to share that message right now. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears and live an amazing life. My tagline, raising the frequency of the planet, one light beam at a time. And that's you, and that's me. It doesn't say raising everybody else's frequency because that's what I want, or I'm here to help everybody else. It's raising one frequency, and that's all you have to do. And that does affect everyone else. I got a message during one of my meditations. Mine is the ultimate one consciousness meditation that I created for you. It takes me into an unbelievable space. And the room lit up, and I had this unbelievable charge of energy. Amazing. It's something that I have not experienced before. It was illuminating. And I got a message, and I'm going to share it with you. This is my question that I'm supposed to ask you. Would we be cheering you on right now? You're supposed to ask yourself that. All the angels, the guides, the assistants, it's unending over there, that is here for us, supports us. But we are the decision makers on a free will planet in a holographic universe that we chose, Earth. We're here to raise the frequency of the planet, one light beam at a time. So the question, with our assistance on this other side, that is always there, doesn't go away, that you are a part of, you're connected to that energy field, is asking you, would we cheer you on according to how you're conducting yourself right now? So you go into a room and your angels and your guides are all there, and they're going to say, right now, do you think we should be cheering you on with your behavior? So, how are you conducting yourself during all of these things that are going on? Because this is the ultimate test. This is what we came here for. But we battle it. We want to go back to normal. This shouldn't be happening. You came here for this critical choice. We're in critical choice right now. And this is the year of expansion. What is that? We're going into spaces that we never thought was possible. Things are happening that are amazing. Time shifts, and that ghost that you thought in the room isn't a ghost at all. It's an energy field that just transitioned into another form that sees us just like we see them. But now that we're taking down the veils of the matrix, we see what's on the other side of it. We're still in the matrix. We're playing it out, and we can create a new earth within the matrix. But what are you doing to create that? To go into that higher frequency? Would we be cheering you on, is their question. In other words, take a look at your actions. Is there judgment, conflict, opposition? That is not creating the new earth, and they are ready to help us to do that. In fact, we can go into it, and people say, well, why are we choosing not to heal, and why don't we choose paradise? And I said, you know what? That's why we came here. It's because we haven't been choosing it. And it's time to choose it. And we're experiencing what it's like to not have it. So now we know what we are, and the veils are coming down, and so that memory is coming back of what we came from, and that we are the power. We are the creators of one energy, one beautiful source that judges nothing. Are you going into that space? Because if you are, nobody's cheering you on the other side. They're just going to stand back and let you go through the motions until you figure it out. That's part of your personal evolution. But it doesn't contribute to the rest of us in a very good way if you don't learn and make the changes. You may stay in that loop, the same mistakes, the same blame, seeing this as a real material world and that there's nothing else, and that everything you do revolves around the material world. Not knowing that you're walking around in tattered robes loaded with jewels, and you haven't reached into those pockets. You have powers that are unbelievable. And my students, Miracle Circle students, the Breakthrough Fear students have done amazing things, have learned how to get past the stories. They changed the stories. Would your angels be cheering you on with your current behavior? If not, what must you change? Because it's time. It's go time. And if you are not going into that space of love, community, solutions, letting go of the old world, it's dissolving. The foundations are dissolving. We don't even take them seriously anymore, right? Some people do, but they're in density all arguing with each other. I look at all the things out there that, we say, the powers, and I'm like, big whoop. Talk to the hand. Shut your pie hole. Spiritual butt kick. Right? Okay, yeah, and so talk away. I'm over here creating solutions. Did you know, and I'm going to do a video on this, did you know there's hundreds of communities that are totally disassociated with the matrix we're living in? They've actually shifted into another reality. They're here on the physical plane. There are people who made a choice to not live in this reality. And I don't mean that they go into their la-la land. What's off the grid, right? That's another reality. What's living in density? A reality. It's all realities. You get to choose it. But they live in a world where they teach their children. They have their own education. They have their own medicines. They teach healing. They do meditations. They have beautiful rituals and things. They worship, let's just say celebrate nature. And everything they do is creative and beautiful, and it is 100% sustainable. And everybody has their own, they have a monetary system. Everybody has their own abundance. They have everything they ever need. They have their own monetary system, and it's not connected to big corporations, banks, all that stuff. Our monetary system's connected to that corruption. So how can it ever really work until we disconnect from that? And I'm not encouraging anything like that. I'm just telling you that when we change how those institutions and corporations behave, then there will no longer be a negative connection to how the money's handled. It's going to be handled differently. And the only way we can do that, change, is by what we consume and what we agree to. I'm not talking about rebellion or my rights. That is negativity. So your angels are asking you, are you finding solutions in peace, or are you still fighting for a cause? No more fighting. So if you were to go into one of these communities, that wouldn't even come up. And by the way, they keep them small because they said when you get too many people in, you start to lose your individuality. And egos start to come in and want to control and have things a certain way. But the smaller communities, you can be individuals and it all works. This is why in the old days they had small communities that worked. And so you'd go to the community where you contribute. So you can't, blacksmith is here and everyone has a blacksmith. So there's no competition in a negative way. And everybody gets to contribute in the smaller groups. It makes sense, doesn't it? That's a world we can go to that's so amazing. But we're so massively trying to get everybody to change. And that is just the opposite of what makes us so beautiful. And that's our diversity, our differences, our expressions. Would we be cheering you on? It's a simple question. And it's a simple answer. And if your answer is not one you're feeling good about, ask yourself how you should conduct yourself that would make them proud and say, yes, we're cheering you on. Go, go, go. Yes, beautiful job. Oh, you've created something. Oh, you're giving. Oh, you stopped judging. Oh, you went into a space of compassion instead of criticism and conflict. Yes, yes, we're going to cheer you on. So if you would like to come over to Manifest Anything, the free video series, that's down in the description, or go to landriaonkka.com and explore what's there. But if you go to Manifest Anything, you get a free mobile app. And if there are any discounts on my courses, you will get those. Those will not be made available to the public. But I show you the steps on how to manifest. First one is tapping into your power. If you don't believe you have your power, you continue to struggle with the outside world, believing that it is controlling you, and it doesn't. Because when you see that world differently, you'll see the beauty in it. You'll see the pain, but you'll understand the pain is what teaches us love and how amazing we truly are. And when you go into pain, now I know what I am. And I don't have to go into that space anymore. And I'm never going to inflict that on somebody else. All right? Please subscribe to my channel and share these. And of course, you guys know, free video series. That's my internet training. I took it 6 years, almost 7 years ago. And I created online businesses that make a difference on the planet. You can reach the globe if you know how to use the internet. Get the training. These amazing guys, mentors. I have my own business that I'm opening up that's going to teach you to become an influencer in the most positive way. Spiritually conscious businesses, doing great things. You know what? That's my focus. Yeah, you can do the great things. Are you doing them? Because you're capable. Everyone is. Because you're amazing. You're whole and perfect. Strong and powerful. Loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.